Hey everybody, Arnaldo here, broadcasting from Fidelios Frequency. Welcome to my channel, and welcome to another unboxing and video review of a Vinyl Me Please title. I'm a bit late actually. This is the June Essentials selection or record of the month from Vinyl Me Please. And today we'll be talking about Death Cab For Cutie, Transatlanticism. So let's cut to a quick unboxing first, and then we'll talk about the album more in depth. So let's start this unboxing of Transatlanticism by Death Cab For Cutie, which is the Vinyl Me Please Essentials number 126. Let's take a look at the hype sticker, which tells us that it is a 20th anniversary edition with lacquers cut by Ryan K. Smith at Sterling Sound. We also have our usual obi with a little blurb or description of the album on the back. And also included is an art print, printed on heavy cardstock. This time it was done by Addie Russell. And the record jacket has as usual, the spot varnish effect. Here is like very minimal. Only the title and the name of the group are in spot varnish, like that glossy finish. Heavy cardstock, very thick record jacket with tip-on art. Faithful to the original edition of the album. And we also get the booklet. The first version of the booklet came, it was a 12-page booklet, and we'll take a closer look at it in a minute. This one was expanded slightly. And let's take a look at the vinyl. Pressed on standard weight vinyl, red marble. Translucent, as you can see. That's the first one, and let's take a look at the second one. It's exactly the same. I guess only the labels change, obviously. And now we'll take a look at the booklet. So, as I mentioned before, the original booklet was only 12 pages long. This one was expanded to include, as you see, the essay by Sean Nelson. And I believe, yes, there were 2 additional pages. Here are the lyrics. There are 2 additional pages in this booklet with additional artwork, and they're actually these 2. Very, very similar to the rest. And the remainder of the booklet is the same. So in order for me to talk about Death Cab For Cutie and Transatlanticism, I want to take a step back to earlier in 2003, precisely around February of 2003. I was unaware of Death Cab For Cutie. They were off my radar. Even though they had been around for about 5 years and had released 3 albums, they just never came to my attention until a side project by one of their members, actually the main songwriter, Ben Gibbard, teamed up with Jimmy Tamborello, also known as Dintel. And together they released an album of electronica and synth pop, which was called, under the name The Postal Service, the album was called Give Up. And that kind of piqued my interest in not only the Postal Service, but also in researching the members' previous activity and who they were, and that led me to Death Cab For Cutie. Interesting fun fact, the Postal Service, in order to use that name, they allowed the record to be sold also on the USPS website. I think probably that's the only record that was ever sold on the Postal Service website. So fast forward to October of 2003, we have Transatlanticism. So this is the 20th anniversary, like I said before. of the release of this album. And it is a great celebration of the record, and I'm so glad that I got it, because at the time I didn't get it, and I was able to appreciate it a lot more now. Reading through the lyrics while listening to the album, I got a whole new appreciation, not only of the album, but of the craft, the songwriting craft of Ben Gibbard, and especially lyrical craft. His use of words, the metaphors that he uses. As a matter of fact, Transatlanticism, which is a title track and one of my favorite, is a metaphor for like the emotional distance. And let's just say that maybe some have seen that this is kind of like a concept album about like a long distance romance or long distance relationship. But not only that, I also see the melancholy and the longing for a relationship and for love in various other tracks. Sometimes there's failure, like the assessment of a failure from previous relationships, like in Title and Registration, which is a really cool song, and as well as probably this cynicism of, and the assessment of certain mistakes, of certain behaviors in other relationships, and one of that is probably Tiny Vessels. I'll leave you to read through the lyrics so that you can discover exactly what these songs are about. The album came out, like I said, in 2003, was celebrated, I believe, in 2013 with a re-release, which I believe was, the vinyl was cut by Kevin Gray. I don't have that to compare, but I'd have to say that I had pretty much no issues with the pressing quality, except for just like maybe a tiny warp, but nothing I would complain to their customer service, which has always in the past resolved any type of audio defect on the pressings. But very quiet, and definitely without hearing any other version, I'm totally satisfied by how this sounds. So I wanted to leave you with an excerpt from the essay by Sean Nelson. And I have to say, Vinyl Me Please always includes in their booklets for their selections of the month an essay which kind of like gives some context to either historical context or musical context for every release. But I have to say that this essay by Sean Nelson is probably one of the best essays that I've read of all of the essentials category, because it celebrates in a very unique way an anniversary of a record. And it made me reflect a lot on how we look back whenever there's a landmark or some kind of like milestone anniversary of a record, and how we should look at it. So I'll leave you with the closing paragraph of Sean Nelson's essay. The real test of time doesn't measure the quality of a record. It evaluates the character and capacity of the listener, because records can't change over time. They can only reveal the things that have changed around them, or in the case of truly great records, the things that haven't. So I thought that was very poignant, not only for this record, but in general, for records, whenever we're celebrating a milestone anniversary of a record. So I guess that's it for Death Cab for Cutie's Transatlanticism. Thank you for watching. Please, subscribing is free. Feel free to hit the subscription button as well as the notifications, so you will be notified of any of my future new videos. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.